concise, and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, the United Workers' Party has announced the decision to take legal action against government over the Citizenship by Investment program. In the news from the region, government MPs vote against a motion to support IC recommendations for investigation into Jamaica's Prime Minister affairs. And internationally, Lebanese hospitals are struggling after minister warns of carnage from Israeli strikes. The details of these stories and more coming up next.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
One easy loan.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
To upgrade my phone and even my home with one simple loan.
More money.
To have your wedding, to go traveling, to do anything.
More money.
No security. Speed delivery, just check NBT. Apply anytime. In branch online, it's more money time.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
No collateral.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Speedy delivery.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Just check NBT.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
DBS News.
And welcome back. The United Workers' Party has announced the decision to take legal action against government over the Citizenship by Investment program. The decision to go to court was announced during a press conference this afternoon. Trinidad Senior Counsel Anand Ramlogan, who is spearheading the case on behalf of UWP, said the action is to force government to account for monies spent under the program.
We've been asked to assist with this groundbreaking, historic and landmark case in the public interest. The Citizenship by Investment program has generated significant monies that are meant to be spent for the benefit of the public in Dominica. The cardinal principles upon which a constitutional democracy is based includes 1, public accountability, 2, transparency in public life, and 3, good public administration. Without those hallmark principles being observed, then you do not have a democracy. So we have taken a look at it. We think that we see this as a case that is important for the region, the Caribbean region as a whole, because it will establish some significant constitutional boundaries as it relates to the government's duty to account to the people through the parliament. We intend to ask the government to disclose a copy of the agreement for the program between the government and its agents. We intend to ask to see the terms and conditions of that contract, because the case is constructed based on the Dominican Constitution on the principle that all monies and revenues earned by the government is meant to be paid into the consolidated fund, which is subject to parliamentary scrutiny and approval for any form of expenditure.
And that was Senior Counsel Anand Ramlogan. President of the United Workers' Party Lennox Linton says the decision to go to court against government was not an easy undertaking.
Deciding to take legal action against government of the state is never easy, especially for patriotic organizations driven first and foremost by the best interests of the state. That is why, having brought the injustice to public attention years ago, we advocated long and we advocated hard, inside and outside of Parliament, for remedial action in the public interest. We advocated for obedience to the constitutional rule of law, for honesty, for transparency and accountability in the operations of the CBI program. All we've wanted to do was to protect the integrity of the program and to ensure that the lofty national development goals for which it came into existence were fulfilled. This has been quite a journey for us in the past 5 years, having taken the decision that we're going to go to court with this. We have received opinions and second opinions. We have spoken to a number of lawyers. We have, in the course of time, asked ourselves whether we should go forward with this. Because after all, no institution really wants to sue their government. But we came to the point where we decided that we had to move forward with this.
And that was the president of the UWP, Lennox Linton. Meantime, Attorney General Levi Peter told DBS News he will respond to the matter as soon as documentation from the court is available. And President of Dominica, Her Excellency Silvani Burton, is heading a high-level Dominican delegation to the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. President Burton will address the General Assembly on Wednesday, September 25th, during the afternoon session. The session is being held under the theme Leaving No One Behind, acting together for the advancement of peace, sustainability, sustainable development and human dignity for present and future generations. At the General Assembly, world leaders will assess the progress made on the Sustainable Development Goals, discuss ways to overcome recent global shocks, and consider 3 action-oriented documents outlining a development path for the future, namely Pact for the Future, the Global Digital Compact, and the Declaration on Future Generations. Dominica's delegation to General Assembly 2024 includes First Gentleman Mr. Gilbert Burton, Minister for Foreign Affairs, International Business, Trade and Energy Dr. Vince Henderson, Dominica's Permanent Representative to the United Nations Philbert Aaron, Deputy Permanent Representative to the United Nations Kelva Daru, Consular Sheldon Peter Anthony, and Assistant Superintendent of Police Valda Powell. In the absence of President Burton from the state, Her Excellency Josette Matthew will discharge the duties of Acting President of the Commonwealth of Dominica. And an additional 60 police recruits will begin training in October. That announcement was made by Minister for National Security Reuben Blackmore during a press briefing on Monday. Blackmore says the ministry has also engaged the services of a retired police superintendent to train police officers in report writing and the collection of evidence.
We'll be starting recruit training early next month, where we shall be training an additional 60 police recruits. Because what is important is to ensure that we go back to a culture where we can see a greater visibility of our police officers in the city and in the communities, etc. And that's what we are striving for, is to have a specific beat unit. And when you are detailed from 10 to 2 or 2 to 6, within an hour and a half, a supervisor would have visited you on the beat and sign, and they were said, sign in the pocketbook that you found to have been alert. We want to go back to those days. So that is important. Unless we can get to that, of ensuring that we have our officers back on the street, okay? That's what the government is striving for. In terms of training, we're also ensuring that the issue of report writing and the protecting of the crime scene, ensuring that the chain of custody of the evidence collected is not compromised, and all those fundamentals that can actually affect the outcome of a case can be dealt with. We're beginning to assist because we have talent within our local space. We have a former retired police superintendent, and so he is going to assist in having lectures, so we're going to engage him starting next month, so you can have those courses where you can train as many police officers as possible in the area of report writing and collecting of evidence.
And that was Minister for National Security Reuben Blackmore. And General Secretary of the Dominica Public Service Union, Thomas Later, says the union will meet with members tomorrow ahead of upcoming negotiations with government. Later says this meeting allows members to provide recommendations for the 2021-2024 negotiations.
The meeting is to discuss the non-salary aspect of our proposal to government for the period 2021-2024. We have already submitted to them the non-salary part. And the last meeting, which was held some time ago, members felt that the union should be requesting a higher increase than what was being proposed. And the meeting was suspended for further discussion. And then the meeting on Wednesday provides the members with an opportunity to make recommendations and for us to have some discussion. We met last week. It was some kind of preliminary discussion with the government negotiating team. We presented the non-salary aspect, and as I said, after our meeting tomorrow, we will immediately present the salary aspect to the government, and we are hoping to meet with the government. A meeting is planned in 2 weeks' time.
And that was the General Secretary of the Dominica Public Service Union, Thomas Later. And a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Public Works, Public Utilities and the Digital Economy, Emil Lancelot, says Dominica remains committed to safeguarding its digital infrastructure. His remarks came at the opening ceremony of Acerta Americas Week being hosted in Dominica with a focus on cybersecurity in collaboration with the Organization of American States. The ceremony was held at the State House Conference Center this morning.
This workshop is a critical step towards enhancing Dominica's capacity to respond effectively to the increasing cyber threats we face. The government of Dominica is fully committed to strengthening our digital infrastructure, as evidenced by our digital transformation project. This project is financed through a loan from the World Bank Group. The project aims to integrate technology more deeply into the public and private sectors, enabling secure and efficient business transactions, improving IT infrastructure, and supporting the growth of technology-enabled jobs and services. As we immerse more of our daily activities in the digital space, we are also exposed to a rising number of cyber threats. Reports show that cyber attacks in our region have surged by 24% year over year, with thousands of phishing attempts being launched daily. It is essential that we act now to protect our cyber infrastructure, our businesses, and our citizens from this risk. Establishing a Computer Emergency Response Team, or CERT, will be pivotal for us. Such a team will allow Dominica to monitor threats effectively and respond in a coordinated manner. It will also help cultivate a culture of cyber resilience across all sectors of our economy. The training and exercises that will take place this week are invaluable. They will better prepare us to defend our critical national infrastructure, both within government and the private sector.
Lancelot says Dominica has made progress in drafting comprehensive cyber security legislation.
Dominica is embracing its digital future. Our government's commitment to the digitalization of sectors like education, health, small and medium-sized businesses, and national security reflects our desire to create a more connected and resilient economy. Developing our cybersecurity capabilities is not just an option, it is essential. I am also pleased to announce that under the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project, we have made great strides in drafting comprehensive cybersecurity and data protection legislation. As we move through the enactment process, we are laying the groundwork for stronger, more secure digital governance. This workshop will equip us with the knowledge and strategies needed to implement cybersecurity policies, establish an effective CERT, and ensure that our digital transformation is built on a solid foundation of security. Cybersecurity is a cornerstone of our digital future, and building robust policies and raising awareness at every level of society is crucial to our success.
And that was a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Public Works, Public Utilities and the Digital Economy, Emil Lancelot. And in our feature segment of the evening news, we visit the Roseau Market to find Grand Bay female farmer and vendor Dislyn Henderson. Mrs. Henderson has fed her family from farming and vending for the last 30 years and says it's not easy, but it has brought the family satisfaction. We ask her about her farm in Grand Bay. This
in Marathon, my husband work on it. I work on Thursdays sometimes, sometimes on Tuesdays. In some area, Marathon in the garden, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays and Saturdays. I vending on those days.
Give me an idea of some of the produce that you all grow in Granby and some of what you sell here at the market.
Dashing, banana, plantain, seasoning, and sometimes I buy certain products like plantain. What I don't have, I buy it. Onion, potato, cabbage, string beans.
But you tell me that you have been doing that over the last 30 years. I mean, how are you able to do vending at the market for the last 30 years? You come from Granby, you farm at Granby. How easy is this?
It is difficult, very difficult. You have to get up in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, come down to see what you do. And leave at 6 o'clock, go at your home. Sometimes you don't make much, but on Fridays and Saturdays you make a little good change. But during the week, no, not much.
But obviously you make a living from farming because you have children that you have to support and so on. So how well are you able to support the children from what you do at the market?
Well, I feed my children on it. And I have my children small, I feed them on it. I take care of them on farming and the vending too.
But what about the market? How has it changed over the last few years?
It changed completely because before it was more, people would come more and buy. Now slow. Or maybe the supermarket have more of the products. Maybe they get it cheaper there. Because you feed the nation with it, you help people. Sometimes you even give people in what you have. In giving you receive. That is what I make for my living.
And that was a Grand Bay farmer vendor, Dislin Henderson. Taking us to the end of this evening's feature segment, the National Focus. Up next is news from the region and international.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
One easy loan.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
To upgrade my phone and even my home with one simple loan.
More money.
To have your wedding, to go traveling, to do anything.
More money.
No security. Speedy delivery, just check NBT. Apply anytime. In branch online, it's more money time.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
No collateral.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Speedy delivery.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Just check NBT.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
DBS News.
And welcome back. Jamaica's two opposition members of parliament tabled a motion in support of the Integrity Commission's recommendation to refer the investigation into Prime Minister Andrew Holness's statutory declarations to the Financial Investigations Division during a sitting of the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee today. The motion was, however, blocked by government MPs who make up the majority of the committee. The motion called for the committee to accept the Integrity Commission's recommendation to refer the matter to the Financial Investigations Division for further investigation. However, the government majority voted against the motion, citing procedural and timing concerns. And internationally, Lebanon's Health Minister, Dr. Firas Abiad, has told the BBC that hospitals are struggling to cope with the number of casualties following days of Israeli strikes. Dr. Firas Abiad says Monday was the deadliest day in Lebanon since the end of the civil war in 1990 and described it as carnage. The health ministry says more than 560 people, including 50 children, have been killed in the Israeli strikes. A direct address to Lebanese civilians, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the war is not with them, the war is with Hezbollah. And this brings us to the end of this evening's news. Up next is sports.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
What's on your back-to-school checklist? Fast, reliable internet, a free Chromebook, a smartphone. With Flow, you can check everything off your list. Sign up for broadband and get 25% off Turbo plus 6 months or free Chromebook while stocks last. And if you need a new phone, our postpaid bundles offer smartphones for just $4. Make back to school easy with Flow. Visit discoverflow.co for details.
And welcome to your DBS Evening Sports for today, September 24th, 2024. First off, some netball action here. The national netball team suffered their second defeat in the ECCB International Netball Series as they went down to the Cayman Islands as that tournament continued Tuesday in St. Lucia today. Dominica got off to a slow start and never got into the game. They trailed 35-17 at the half and were down 48-27 after 3 periods of play. Dominica eventually lost 62-37. Dominica now has 1 win and 2 losses in the competition. Dominica plays its next match on Wednesday against Grenada at 3:30. And the top secondary and primary schools and athletes will be recognized tomorrow for their outstanding performances in sports for 2024. That's when Sports Division stages its annual School Sports Award ceremony. The event is carded for the American Canadian School of Medicine in Portsmouth. This year's award ceremony will be held under the theme Empowering the Future, Celebrating Excellence and Leadership.
And students, all in excess of 200 awards will be provided to our outstanding students and the schools for participation in the 7 sporting disciplines for which we held championships and festivals during the academic year. And we speak here of cricket, basketball, football, netball, volleyball, track and field, and also table tennis. So those were the 7 sporting disciplines that we held competitions in during the last academic year, and that is for both at the secondary schools and the primary schools. So at Wednesday's ceremony, we expect to have addresses coming from the sports coordinator, also the honorable minister responsible for, or the Minister for Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development, that's Honorable Greta Roberts.
And that was a sports coordinator, Trevor Shillingford. The event is carded to get underway at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. DABA Vice President Yannick Regis will deliver the feature address.
And one of the events that we have during this ceremony is a feature address. And every year we recognize someone who has contributed or who has excelled both in the field of sports and academics as our featured speaker. And this year we have selected Mr. Yannick Regis, who is a former student athlete, and also one who has held or who is really in leadership positions in the various sporting fraternity as our featured speaker. But interestingly, we have as the theme for this year's event as Empowering the Future, Celebrating Excellence and Leadership. So one of the key things that we hope to do during this ceremony is to have on feature our top student athletes and also our student athletes who are also contributing in the area of leadership, both in terms of sports and on the national level.
And that was a sports coordinator, Trevor Shillingford. And St. Lucia's first Olympic medalist, Julian Alfred, arrived home to a hero's welcome in St. Lucia this afternoon. Alfred, who captured a gold medal in the women's 100 meters and a silver in the women's 200 meters at the Summer Olympics in Paris, arrived to thousands of Lucians today. September 27th has already been declared a Julian Alfred Day and a public holiday to honor the Olympic champion. She was welcomed home by Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre and other government officials.
And there she is right now.
She's wearing both
of the medals on the sample waving. She's so humble. Look at the smile. She's being received by our Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip J. Pierre, and will also be with the Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Ernest Hilaire. As you can see, the Prime Minister now is putting on the pin on Julian Alfred's collar. Everyone trying to get a picture. Everyone is trying to get that moment of history here.
Following her arrival, there was a motorcade and St. Lucians lined the streets to celebrate their hero. 2 national school rallies will take place on Wednesday, and on Thursday, Alfred is set to visit the Caesarean Primary School, where a mural unveiling will occur and officials will make announcements. And Johnson Charles got a big half-century, and the St. Lucian Bowlers humbled the Trinbago Knight Riders as the Kings registered their 7th win in the Republic Bank CPL on Tuesday. The Kings batted first and posted a record score at the Brian Lara Academy of 218 for 6 in their 20 overs. Johnson Charles made 89 of just 40 balls with 7 fours and 8 sixes. Faf du Plessis added 59 as they shared a 145-run partnership for the first wicket. Tim Surford got 30. Kyron Pollard took 4 for 38 for the Knight Riders, chasing a record 219 to win. The Knight Riders were quickly knocked out at 56 for 6 before eventually getting 138 for 9. Noah Ahmad, the tournament's leading wicket taker, bagged 3 for 39, and David Weiss 2 for 27. Jason Roy got 41. The Kings won by 80 runs. Johnson Charles was named man of the match.
We had a very, long session planning coming into this game, and I think that we really stuck to our plans. And, coming into this contest is all about, having, positive intent and taking the game to the opposition, and we did that.
Been using a lot of switch hitting recently. Have you put that into your game a little bit more recently?
It's something that I've put into my game. Practiced it from the PSL earlier on this year, and just introduced it into my game, and it's developing quite nicely.
St. Lucia won their first ever gold medal. What would it mean to you guys if you came home with the championship this year?
That's the plan, to come out as champions, and I think that we're doing very well. Now it's getting down to the business end of the tournament, and we're not looking to get complacent, but we're just taking it one game at a time, and we now are looking to just take it on and just bring it home for the fans.
And that was man of the match Johnson Charles. St. Lucia Kings captain Faf du Plessis says it was a good effort.
What a great game. To outplay a strong team like that, you have to do a lot of things right. Lost the toss. I thought it will be quite challenging there in the beginning, but the way that we set up that power play, I thought Jono was excellent today, wasn't he? The way that he just put the spinners under the pressure. He's playing the best cricket I've ever seen him, so long may that continue.
Faf, I mean, you were exceptional with a half-century, but it really was the Johnson Charles show. Watching him a lot of years, I don't think I've seen a better innings. Where did he get all those shots from?
No, he's obviously gone back in the off-season and worked on some shots. In the past, people would probably bowl a lot of left-arm spin at him, so that switch hit is KP-like, isn't it? He's playing it so well in all different areas, so he's become really difficult to bowl to. So just a great example of someone still growing in their game, still evolving, still getting better. So, yeah, very proud of that.
And that was St. Lucia Kings captain Faf du Plessis. The win moves the Kings to 14 points, 4 points clear at the top of the points table. Guyana second on 10, Barbados third on 10, and Knight Riders fourth on 10 points. The CPL action continues on Wednesday with the Guyana Amazon Warriors taking on the Barbados Royals at 7 p.m. And Harry Brook got a maiden century as he guided England to a win via the Duckworth-Lewis method over Australia to take a 2-1 lead in their fifth match ODI series on Tuesday today. Australia made 304 for 7 in their 50 overs batting first. Alex Carey got 77, Stephen Smith got 60, and Cameron Green got 42. Jofra Archer took 2 for 67 for England. England, chasing 308 to win, were 254 for 4 after 37.4 overs when the rains came. They were 46 runs ahead of Duckworth-Lewis. Harry Brook got 110 not out. England led the series 2-1 in the fourth. ODI is set for Friday. And Chairman of the Commonwealth Games Athletes Advisory Committee, Brendan Williams, has welcomed the decision for the 2026 Commonwealth Games to be hosted in Glasgow, Scotland. The Commonwealth Games Federation, or CGF, asked the city to step in and host after the state of Victoria in Australia pulled out. Williams says more details will be finalised during the Commonwealth Games meeting this week.
All I can say is that the games were awarded to Glasgow in 2026, and Dominica looks to have a strong contingent for that games in 2026, based on athletes that we have in universities, athletes in high school who are performing. So that's all I can say right now, but the games was awarded to Glasgow 2026.
And that was the chairman of the Commonwealth Games Athletes Advisory Committee, Brendan Williams. The Commonwealth Games is a multi-sport event which takes place every 4 years. And Thea Lafogatson and Jordanis Garcia are the only two Dominicans to have won medals at the Commonwealth Games. Thea Lafogatson won a silver medal for Dominica at the last Games in Birmingham in 2022 in the women's triple jump, whilst in 2018 she managed a bronze in Australia. Jordanis Garcia had also won silver for Dominica in the men's triple jump in 2018. And West Indies women's head coach Shane Dates says the team has settled nicely in Dubai as they get set for the ICC Women's T20 World Cup. The ladies were going through a series of preparatory camps ahead of the tournament, which starts next week. The Windies will play their first game against South Africa on October 4th. The ladies have been grouped with Bangladesh, England, Scotland and South Africa.
It's good to get out here and get over the jet lag, get acclimatised to the conditions here. Hasn't been too hot, which has been good, but we've sweated it out and we've done some good work in the nets. We've had some good meetings trying to get our strategies together, and the girls have been excellent. Attitude's been fantastic. So far, a great start to the World Cup campaign. Yeah, we're really working on our strategy and our mindset going into the World Cup. We want to play a certain brand of cricket, which we think is going to give us success here. So it's getting those combinations, how we're going to do that, getting the mindset right, having some mental skills days just to clear the mind and have a really clear plan and clear mindset how we're going to attack the opposition, and we're looking for a successful campaign. So now it's about getting our combinations on the field, our game plans, a few tactics together, and try a few different things because we've got to have a few surprises up our sleeve for the World Cup. So we're just got to go through those things now and get those combinations working together, get some time in the middle, because obviously the nets are great, but it's great to be out in the middle. So looking forward to the next 4 days of a bit of centre wicket, and then we go to the World Cup proper.
And that was West Indies women's head coach Shane Dates taking us to the end of this evening's News and Sports. A special thanks to the DBS News and Sports team and link person DJ Halo Boy.
What's on your back-to-school checklist? Fast, reliable internet, a free Chromebook, a smartphone. With Flow, you can check everything off your list. Sign up for broadband and get 25% off Turbo plus 6 months or free Chromebook while stocks last. And if you need a new phone, our postpaid bundles offer smartphones for just $4. Make back-to-school easy with Flow. Visit discoverflow.co for details.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening, welcome to the evening edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. We begin with the evening edition of the DBS Radio Deaf announcements on the Community Bulletin Board. It is the 24th day of September 2024. We announce the death of Al Rive Smith, better known as Orlo, age 64, of Salisbury, who resided in Houston, Texas. He died on Friday, September 6 in Houston. He was the father of Nelson John Baptist in Houston. He will also be remembered by his sisters Magdalene and Agnes, brothers Hesford, Joe, Simbert, and Norman, grandchildren Nelson John Baptist Jr. and Clean John Baptist, nieces Laurette, Annette, Lucia, Carell, Heslin, Jody, Jemima, Audrey, Ashley, Kimisha, nephews Norbert, Philsbert, Joey, Limbert, Herman, Jonathan, Aswad, Jamal, Danik, Gillan, Ari, and Jarek. Daughter-in-law Conita John Baptist, sisters-in-law Anne, Francisca, Linda, and Judy Smith, brother-in-law Eric, Sarah, Aunt Teresa Shillingford, godchildren Grell and Jasmine, close cousins Eutlin, Ruthin, Maylin, Tilda, Walter, and Jesslyn Vidal, also June, Avis, Landra Smith, Rose Shillingford, Sharneen Johnson, and Pamela John. The Smith, Vidal, John, and John Baptist families of Salisbury and St. Joseph. Other relatives and friends, names too numerous to mention. The funeral service for the late Al Rive Smith, better known as Orlo of Salisbury, who resided in Houston, Texas, will take place on Friday, September 27th at the Malcalf Funeral Home in Houston, Texas. The management and staff of DBS Radio, the nation station, extends deepest condolences to the family of the late Al Rive Smith. better known as Orlo of Salisbury, who resided in Houston, Texas.
And now, your community bulletin board.
Let's now bring you the general announcements on this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. Domlec wishes to inform its customers in Hodges, Woodford Hill, Palm Tree, Crompton Point, Eden Road, Trafalgar Falls Access Road, including Papillote and Trafalgar Falls Resort, that their electricity supply will be interrupted on Friday, the 27th of September, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. These interruptions are necessary to allow Domlec to undertake high voltage line diversion from Wesley to Woodford Hill and to accommodate work on the cable cart project at Loda. Additional information is available on their website, www.domlec.dm, under scheduled outages. Domlec appreciates your understanding in this matter and regrets any inconvenience caused. The WASCO is seeking to engage the services of a Community Liaison Officer or CLO under its Water Sector Strategic Development Project or WSSDP under the overall guidance of the project coordinator PC. The CLO will promote constructive partnerships and communications between the WASCO and the communities on issues relating to project implementation and will be responsible for implementing community engagement activities as set out in the Stakeholder Management Engagement Plan or SEP. Submissions must include a detailed curriculum vitae. The duration of the assignment is expected to be for a period of 18 months. Eligibility: consultants shall be eligible to participate if the persons are citizens or bona fide residents of an eligible country, and in all cases, the consultant has no arrangement and undertakes not to make any arrangements whereby any substantial part of the net profits or other tangible benefits of the contract will accrue or be paid to a person not a citizen or bona fide resident of an eligible country. Eligible countries are members of the Caribbean Development Bank or CDB. The Community Liaison Officer or CLO is required to possess the following minimum qualifications and experience: a master's degree in sociology, rural community development, anthropology, international development, or other related disciplines, a minimum of 7 years relevant practical experience, fluency in English, proficient computer skills, and good written and oral communication skills are required. Administrative and management competence would be an asset. Interested eligible applicants may obtain further information from the Project Management Unit of the WASCO through email wssdp.procurement.dowasco@gmail.com and copied to o.mosos@dowasco.com. For more information, you can visit their website, www.dowasco.dm/vacancies. Deadline for submission of applications is Thursday, October 24th by 3 p.m. local time. Registration is open for the University of the West Indies UWI Global Campus Fundamentals of Music Business one-day workshop scheduled for Saturday, 28th September from 8:30 a.m. The cost is $85 for Association of Music Professional members and $100 for the general public. Registration deadline is Thursday, 26th September 2024. Call 285-3482 for more information. The Project Implementation Unit, PIU, of the Emergency Agricultural Livelihoods and Climate Resilience Project, Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, will host a contractors workshop from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Wednesday, September 25th, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and that will be at the conference room, Ministry of Public Works, Public Utilities and the Digital Economy, first floor, Government Headquarters. The purpose of the workshop is to inform contractors of the requirements on how to prepare responsive submissions for the rehabilitations of segments 4 and 11 of the Waitukubuli National Trail. Contractors who wish to participate should call telephone numbers 266-3998 or 266-3981 or 275-1957 or email dealcrp@dominica.gov.dm and cc the to ealcrpprocurement@gmail.com to register to participate. People wishing to attend the funeral service of Margaret Vidal on Wednesday 24th September, that should be Wednesday 25th September, that is, at 2:30 p.m. The following buses will be available from the Caleb John Laura Primary School at 12:30 p.m. From the St. Joseph, bus driver Berg Prosper, bus registration HH023. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economies, Plant Protection and Quarantine Unit invites residents to a meeting and slug bait distribution exercise for the following areas affected by the giant African snail. Wednesday, 25th September, 6:30 p.m. for residents of Fonkole at the Fonkole Community Center. Thursday, 26 September, for residents of Stock Farm at the Dominica State College Basketball Hardcourt. Residents are asked to be present and on time as the ministry seeks to actively engage the communities to reduce the spread of the giant African snail on island. The Honorable Dr. Cassandra Williams and the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation will be having a series of white goods collection in La Plaine. Pickup begins from 9 a.m. this Thursday, 26 September to Thursday, 17th October. The cleanup goes as follows: Casgori, Felicity, Fresh Island, Canada, High Street, D Acres, Ghetto, Plaisance, Balisier, La Ronde, La Franchette. Please take note of the dates. Go clean up La Plaine. Everything must go. We've come to the end of the general announcements. We have some What's On coming up next. Stay tuned.
Are you ready? Dominica invites the world to celebrate the biggest and most anticipated music festival in the Caribbean 2024, October 25 to 27 at the Windsor Park Stadium in Roseau. 3 nights, 1 stage, non-stop action. Get your ticket now at DominicaFestivals.com. Dominica's World Renowned Music Festival, presented by the government of Dominica through the Discover Dominica Authority. We ready? Yo! We ready? Yeah. Are you ready? Are you ready? Dominica invites the world to celebrate the biggest and most anticipated music festival in the Caribbean 2024, October 25 to 27 at the Windsor Park Stadium in Roseau. 3 nights, 1 stage, Non-stop action. Get your ticket now at DominicaFestivals.com or purchase locally at Bullseye Pharmacy or the Peck Scholar Lab. Dominica's World Renowned Music Festival in 2024. October 25 to 27. Create memories, rejuvenate, exhilarate in excitement, music and dance. Presented by the government of Dominica through the Discover Dominica Authority.